You're listening to Townsquare Sunday. Laura Orleans is a frequent guest in this program, updating us periodically on events and programs at the New Bedford Fishing Heritage Center. Laura, good to see you again.
Thank you so much for having me.
The summer months are always a busy time at the Fishing Heritage Center, and we start off with a concert in June.
We do. So we seem to be having concerts pretty much monthly. And our June offering is a really special one. John Connolly is a name that you may not know, but many of you will remember the song Fiddler's Green. I'm not going to sing it for you because that would probably not go over well. So anyway, John Connolly is the man who wrote that song. Many people, including the Clancy brothers, have recorded that song. And so he is touring. It may be sort of a last tour. He's getting on in years. And he's going to be performing June 6th at 7 p.m. With his sort of partner, Rob Van Zant, who's a multi-instrumentalist. It's going to be a really special evening, and I would encourage people to buy tickets in advance for this one. We think it may be standing room only.
Sure. So where can people call or go for tickets?
Sure. You're welcome to call us at 508-993-8894. Tickets are obviously available at the center and will be available at the door as long as we haven't sold out. And then you can purchase them online through brown paper tickets and just look up John Connolly or Fishing Heritage Center, and that should help you out.
Are the concerts working well? Well attended?
They are. So it a little bit depends on whether we get the word out, and this is certainly helpful, and a little bit on what the draw is. So we've had we vary the concert. Sometimes it's music about fishing and the sea. Sometimes it's music that represents the many ethnic communities that are involved in the fishing industry. And we've had, some great things in the past. We had Art Tebbets most recently, who's kind of the local troubadour. And then coming up, we're going to take a break in the summer because we've got other things that we're focusing on. But coming up in September, we have a Scottish band called North Sea Gas that'll be performing in the first week of September.
Last time you were here, you mentioned a trivia night. And that when you were trying that out.
Yes.
You're going to have another one apparently in June.
We are.
June 19th, from 7 to 9. What's that all about?
So it's a lot of fun. We're going with this 5-5-5 concept just to kind of give it a spin and keep it fun. It's one of the few events where we actually have beer. So $5 beers by Moby Dick Brewery, $5 to get in, which helps us support the center, and 5 chances to win. And so even if you are not a fishing industry expert, we have categories like fishing in the movies or boats in the movies or fishing in music, so we're really trying to kind of mix it up. There will be a seafood category, perhaps something around sort of mythology and superstitions and things like that. So it's really kind of broad knowledge, and you can either come with a team or kind of group yourself together once you get there. And it's a fun night.
All right. Mm-hmm. And you've started a film series that's been going on for a couple of years anyway.
Oh, 8 years?
8 years.
Yes.
Even before the Heritage Center
yes.
opened its doors. But it's one of the documentaries, D-O-C-K, get it? Coming up in June, and that is on June 21st. Tell us about the Voices in the Fog.
Voices in the Fog is a film that was made by Pedro Marnado, who became fascinated with the White Fleet, which is the group of fishermen from mainland Portugal who sailed to the coast of Newfoundland and Greenland and fished for cod, hand-lining for cod off of dories. That went on until the mid-1970s. So there are a group of men in New Bedford that started out in that fishery and then eventually immigrated here and continued fishing in our fleet. And the film is basically interviews with these guys, remembering what that experience was all about. And it's a wonderful, wonderful film. It was shown at the Whaling Museum, I want to say a year ago or so. And, we just felt like it was important to give another chance for people to see it. So that'll be, as you said, June 21st at the National Park Theater.
And, again, that begins at 7 o'clock.
And that's free of charge.
A free event there. One event really caught my eye in June, and that is the Unusual Catch Day.
Yes.
And I think this is a first time, June 29th.
Oh, no, it's actually I think it'll be the third time. So fishermen obviously would like to catch fish and scallops and lobsters and things like that, but they also sometimes pull up unexpected things. So often fossils, bottles. You have to remember that George's Bank, the prime fishing ground, was once dry land about 13 million years ago or whatever, 13,000 years ago, I think. So things like woolly mammoths were roaming around sometimes things like tusks and teeth and stuff.
Absolutely. Yep.
But there are also wonderful stories about bombs that have been pulled up, body parts, airplanes. Someone even said the kitchen sink they pulled up once. So there are all kinds of fun stories. We don't want fishermen to bring in bombs, please. But this is an invitation for anybody in the fishing community to bring in, their collection of items that may have come up over the years. We have a team of archaeologists that are on hand to kind of almost like Antiques Roadshow. Not so much the value of your object, but a little more detail about where it might have come from and the particulars of it. And it's just been a fun experience.
And it's worked out.
It has. It has. Yeah. So that's on June 29th from 1 to 4. It's a free event, and we'd love to see lots of people there. And you don't have to be from a fishing community to come, obviously.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right, but if you are from the fishing community, bring your stuff.
Bring your
The
stuff.
stuff you've hauled up. You're not looking for fish stories in this one, right?
Oh, sure. We'll take the stories too. We will. We will.
All right, this is Townsquare Sunday. I'm Jim Phillips. My guest is Laura Orleans, director of the New Bedford Fishing Heritage Center on Bethel Street. Is that right?
Yes, we're at 38 Bethel Street. And if that's a name of a street that's not familiar to you, if you know Johnny Cake Hill, we are sort of the block of that street that's just north of Williams. So right between William Street and Elm Street.
I neglected one item here, which you kindly pointed out to me, and that is the lost and found safety and surveillance in the fishing industry. That's on June 13th. At 7 p.m.
So this is the last in a series of programs that we've had looking at the history and evolution of wheelhouse technology. So as you might imagine, technology has changed over time, the way that people communicate, the way that boats navigate, and all that stuff. So we have an exhibit right now that's highlighting that, and on June 13th, AHA Night, we'll have a panel with Dave Frank, who's the owner of Chris Electronics, Ted Williams, who's a safety instructor and also former fisherman, and then a man whose name I'm forgetting at the moment, but he is a veteran from the U.S. Coast Guard. So the idea of technology being used to both track fishermen by the government and also find fishermen or fishing boats in a time of distress, it's kind of a double-edged sword. And, we certainly want people to be safe. We also, I think fishermen don't necessarily like the idea of being tracked. And so just kind of looking at that dynamic and how that technology has changed over time.
And that's going to be held at the center.
7 p.m. on June 13th.
It's a free event.
A free event, exactly.
All right, very good. So the center's biggest fundraiser is scheduled for July, and it's called the Seafood Soiree. Last year, held at the Wamsutta Club. And you're back there again, apparently.
We are. It's a fabulous venue, and we're hugely grateful to the club and the James Arnold Mansion for hosting us. We don't have to worry about weather. I like that. It's very elegant. And this is a real opportunity to showcase the seafood and also the chefs in the area. So we've invited, I think we've got almost a dozen chefs, each creating a signature seafood appetizer that is focused on sustainable local seafood. And so guests will have the opportunity to sample all kinds of things, everything from squid and mackerel to scallops, of course, and lobster and, other things. We don't even have the full menu yet. But we're super excited, and it does help us very much to raise money that we need to keep going. So we really invite everyone to come and enjoy. We have wonderful music, gypsy jazz music by Hot Club Cheese Roll, which is a local act. And auction items, and it should be a lot of fun. And tickets are available for sale through that brown paper ticket site or at the center.
Okay, so tickets are available now?
They are.
That event?
Yeah.
All right.
And your very own Phil Paleologos will be presiding over the auction, and once again.
He loves doing that, too. There's a fun event coming up in August. I don't know that it's a fundraiser, but it's the annual Seafood Throwdown. Is that right?
We're not doing that this year.
Not doing that this year. Oh, too bad.
Putting our energies into a new little festival that we're producing that'll be held on September 28th. And we actually just met with the Upper William Street crowd, whose event is also on that day. So we are combining forces for an event that we're sort of, the umbrella event is called William Street Bow to Stern Festival. Wow. A little metaphor, because we're going all the way from one end to the other. And on our end of that, we will have a whole variety of things. So we'll have a model boat show. Many fishermen make models of boats that they once ran or still are involved with.
I don't want to interrupt you, but you had a model you had a few
We
model
did.
boats
We did.
that were donated.
We did. Yes,
Remember those?
I do.
Made
Very
by
well.
a
local fishermen. Mm-hmm.
And they were Portuguese fishing boats. Is that
They
correct?
were, yes. So one of those is on display right now as we speak at the State Pier Ferry Terminal. Thank you to John Sylvia and the C Street Ferry for giving us that opportunity, and Bank 5 for helping out with that. But one of those boats is on display there. Two of them are up at the university. One is at the center. One is at Bay Coast Bank. One is still looking for a home. And at least a few of those will be part of this event on the 28th. So we'll have the model boat event, which is sort of models, but also stories from fishermen about what it's like, a little bit of music, some author readings, some occupational demonstrations of things like net mending and gear, a new exhibit to showcase.
And the date of that again?
September 28th.
September 28th.
And then a concert that I don't know if I can say where it'll be yet because we're still confirming that, but the Johnson Girls, an all-female a cappella group that sings songs about fishing and maritime songs, is going to be performing that afternoon. So we're really excited.
A combination of the, I won't call it the Working Waterfront Festival, but we'll talk about that in just a moment. But certainly this new festival, which is happening, and William Street from bow to stern, is that what it is? William Street
from bow to stern. Our event is called Big Boats, Little Boats.
Okay.
And the Upper William Street Festival is their thing. And then in the middle of it all is an amazing sculpture that's happening that DATMA, a new nonprofit, has organized, and that'll be the closing weekend for that.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the Waterfront Festival,
okay.
the Working Waterfront Festival.
Sure.
That was a very popular event, and I know you loved it, and I loved it, but all things must pass sometimes.
Well, I wouldn't say never, but certainly this year we tried and were not able to raise funds adequate to produce the event as we all know it. So we are not calling this new event the Working Waterfront Festival. I don't want to raise expectations that it will be what it was, because it can't right now. What I would say is that I hope that people who haven't been to the center will come to the center. And what we've tried to do is to take a lot of what was important at the festival and share it all year long, every day of the year, with a couple of exceptions. We do close for Christmas. But, I think it's really important that there is a year-round opportunity for people to learn about the fishing industry. And as incredible as that festival was, I think if you had to choose, I think the year-round piece is really important.
Absolutely.
And we'd love to try to resurrect that at some point, but it costs a lot of money and takes a lot of time and energy, and it's not
inexpensive to do what you did there.
It isn't.
From a food tent to displays to tours of fishing boats to musical acts, tugboat races or whatever they were. I mean, it was.
I know, and it makes me sad. It was after my own children. It was kind of my baby for a long, long time.
Well, hopefully we'll see it somewhere again.
And in the meantime, come to Big Boats, Little Boats, and all the activities happening on September 28th.
Where can people learn more about the events coming up?
FishingHeritageCenter.org is our website, and we have a calendar section, and I think that's the best place to go.
All right. Laura Orleans, thanks for coming in. Best of luck with this summer's busy schedule. I'm sure we'll talk again.
Thank you so much.
That's it for Townsquare Sunday. Thanks for tuning in. Also, thanks to Jason Kent, our production director, and digital editor Casey Sylvia for their help in getting this program on the air and on the web. Join us next week for Townsquare Sunday. Until then, have a great week and a wonderful Sunday.